everyone, welcome to your workout. Today we'll be focusing on all lower body focused strength and sort of plyometric workout. This one's gonna be done entirely all body weight, so you can do this one from home. If you did want to add a little bit of load to it, if you happen to have some dumbbells or a heavier dumbbell, we are gonna be doing some short stance, step back lunges to get into the quads, so you could load those ones if you wanted. However, working entirely body weight is also great. All right, we're gonna get started without our shoes on. If you happen to have shoes on, you can take those off, but you can put them on later on in the workout if that's where it feels comfortable for you. So we're gonna get started in a standing position, and we're gonna think about our right foot. We'll start about hip width apart, and we're gonna take a step forward with that right leg, and we're gonna think about our toes. We're gonna think about big toe, little toe to our heel. We're gonna plant that foot, and we're gonna think about bringing our knee forward. Ankle's gonna come into that dorsiflexion, so that forward bend, but we're gonna think about pronating our foot, so that arch is going to flatten into the ground as we bring that knee forward. Now we're gonna hold your end range there for 3, 2, 1, then we're gonna rock the weight back, and I want you to come into a foot supination. So now you're gonna find your arch is gonna sort of lift up off the ground, but try to keep contact with the big toe and the heel on the floor there. Good, we're gonna find that same positioning, rocking that weight forward, flattening the foot into the floor. Good, and then rocking that weight back, coming out of that pronation. So the reason why we're gonna start off with some little foot drills here, so we're gonna warm up, creating that sort of absorption. So whenever our foot is sort of pronating, think whenever you're sort of landing, that's absorbing all the force and shock. And then when we come into that supination, so that foot arch sort of lifting, that's creating stiffness in the foot to help propel us forward with speed, power, and strength. Good, let's do that one more time on this side, flattening that foot, coming into that ankle dorsiflexion, rocking that knee forward. Good, and then back. Nice. Let's do the same thing on the other side. So we're gonna bring that left foot forward. Again, thinking about sort of all 3 points of contact, big toe, little toe to that heel. Rock that knee forward. That foot arch is going to flatten. Ankle coming into that dorsiflexion, so knee coming forward. Good, and then rocking it back. Really think about pulling that sort of arch up towards the ground while keeping points of contact on the floor, so try not to make sure that toes lift off the ground. Good, again, coming into it, flattening out that arch, letting that knee come forward, and then rocking it back. Good, one more time there. You might find one side feels a little bit stiffer than the other. That's okay, very normal for one side to feel a little bit more fluid than the other. Just means maybe you need to spend a little more time on that side. Good, and then back, nice. Okay, now we're gonna bring our hips and our feet together. Standing at the back of our mat, we're gonna take our right foot, we're gonna step forward. Now I want you to think about big toe to hip here. I want you to think about actively pushing that toe into the ground. Hip is gonna come forward, big reach up with the arms, and then you can add a little bit of a side bend to the side as you think about that hip and big toe. Good, we're gonna step back to how we started, but we'll stay on that same side. Do that 2 more times, so step forward, reach up, side bend, really think about pushing that big toe into the floor. You should get a nice little stretch to that foot and then into the hip. Good, one more time there, stepping back and then forward. Great, let's do the same thing on the other side. So we're gonna step forward with that left foot. Now we're thinking about right big toe, big reach up with that right arm. You can add that little side bend, really actively push that big toe into the floor and step back. Good, 2 more there. Great, 1 more. All right, nice work. Now we're gonna stand at the back of our mats. We're gonna work with a little bit of a hamstring sweep. So moving forward on our mat there, we're gonna plant our left heel on the ground, big sweep down towards the ground, getting that hamstring step, hamstring sweep, and then other side, right heel forward. We're gonna work our way all the way to the front of your mat, taking your time there. Good, once you get to the end of your mat, we're gonna drive one knee up towards your chest, and then walk back, other side. With that knee hug, really think about actively pushing that standing leg into the ground as you work your way all the way back to where you started. Good, 1 more round through that, so that hamstring sweep. Once you get to the end of your mat, That same thing, walking it back, adding that little knee hug as you walk it back. Really think about standing tall, pushing that standing leg into the ground. Nice. Once you find yourself at the back of your mat, we're gonna go into some hip airplanes. I'd recommend standing next to a wall, a couch, something for a little bit of support here. We're gonna start holding onto your support with your right hand. We're gonna work our right leg. My left leg is gonna actively go back behind me, thinking that there's two flashlights on my hip creases. They're facing forward right now. From here, we're gonna think about moving our hip socket on that right side within our femur. So we're gonna open up that left hip. Everything stays nice and square on that right side. This flashlight now is pointing up and forward. Good, we're gonna hold here, 3, 2, 1, then close it off. That flashlight now on that left hip is going to be pointing to opposite side. Think the inside of that right leg. Good, hold, 3, 2, 1, 2 more there. Open up that hip. Think about really moving through, rotating hip socket on top of the femur, so big old thigh bone. Good, hold, and then close it off. Really good here. Let's do that one more time. Big open up, moving nice and slow, making sure that you're not moving through the knee, the ankle. It's just that hip. Good, close it off one more time. Great, other side, we're gonna stand on left leg, left hand onto your support system, right leg actively back behind you. Let's start by opening it up. Think about stacking the hips and then closing it off. Really thinking about moving that hip on top of the femur. Good, you might get some shaking, some wobbling, that's okay. Nice work, one more time there, so 3 in total on this side. Nice, good, close it off one last time there. Great, in 3, 2, 1. We're gonna come up to standing. We're gonna go into some pogo hops. So hands are gonna be on your hips here. We're just gonna go for about 15, 20 seconds. We're just hopping lightly on the spot. Now I want you to think about bouncing through the balls of your feet, trying to pull your toes up towards the ceiling. So you're not trying to absorb the bounce through your whole body, through your legs and your knees. We're really thinking about trying to absorb that bounce through ankles, calves, and the balls of your feet. So toes up instead of toes pointing down. Good, for 3, 2, 1, and rest there. All right, that's our warm up, everyone. We're gonna go now move into our sort of more plyometric focused work. So building on top of those pogo hops. So whenever you're ready, you can grab some water. If you wanna put on some shoes, you're more than welcome to do so. Okay, we're gonna go through the sequence 2 times through. We're gonna get started with some pogo hops again, where we're working with both legs. We're now gonna use a bit of momentum with our arms, okay? We're about 15 seconds here. We're using that same pogo hop, now moving a little bit of momentum with the arms. Whenever you're ready, right into it there. We're going for about 15 seconds. Good, really focusing on pulling those toes up towards the ceiling. Go over 3, 2, and 1, rest there. We're gonna go single-sided now for about 10, 15 seconds, not too long there. We'll stand on that right leg, left leg can come up in front of you. Hands can go on the hips. You can use your arms, opposite, whatever works for you today. Ready in 3, 2, 1, go for it. Hop it on that right side. Goal here is just try to stay nice and stiff through that standing leg. 3, 2, 1, rest. We're gonna go back to left side now. Good, in 3, 2, 1, go for it. Hop it on that left leg. In 3, 2, 1, rest there. Nice work. Okay, We're coming down to the ground. We're gonna find ourselves in a little bit of a side plank variation. So that elbow is gonna be right underneath that shoulder. We're gonna start with our legs straight out in front of you. So you imagine like you're sort of between like two planes of glass here. Elbow under that shoulder. We're going to bend that bottom knee straight behind you. We're gonna lift through that left side. Top leg is gonna lift, and we're just gonna think about holding here. When you think about pushing your hip crease forward, not your ribs, we're moving from the hips. Stay lifted through that side. We're holding for 20 seconds here. Good. Now you're gonna feel this probably, hopefully, kneeling glute med. It's the side of your glute, probably into your core, shoulder, and that oblique on that left side as well. Good. We're holding for 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice work. Other side. So we'll get started. That right elbow right underneath that right shoulder. Legs out straight, like you're between two planes of glass. We bend that bottom knee, hips lift, we hold here. Good, imagining, yeah, we're lifting through that right side, hip crease reaching forward, ribs locked in towards the hips. Holding for 20 seconds. We'll take a quick little 30-second rest. We'll go through that sequence one more time. Good, and 3, 2, 1, nice work. All right, catch your breath there if you need. We're gonna go into round 2, back into those pogo hops, bilateral, so two-legged and then single-legged. Feel free to add a little bit more intensity on with those pogo hops. If this is your first time doing those pogo hops, feel free. You can just work with momentum and just sort of get yourself used to the pattern of it. All right, in 3, 2, 1, let's go for it. If you want, you can add a little bit more spring bounce to it. Just make sure we're pulling toes up towards the ceiling so we're not pointing the toes. We want to create stiffness. Good, 3, 2, 1, rest there. We're gonna go single-sided. We will notice a lot harder single-sided than two-legged. So feel free to keep the intensity a little bit lower there. All right, 3, 2, 1, here we go. You can start whatever side you want. Good, staying on the ball of the foot, nice and light and bouncy. 3, 2, 1. Whew, those get me sweaty. All right, we're gonna move into the other side. In 3, 2, 1, go for it. Nice, everyone try to keep up with that pace. Stay consistent. 3, 2, 1, rest. All right, how was that? We're gonna go into our side plank again. We're gonna add a little bit of a variation of it. Feel free to stick with the regular one if you want. If you feel comfortable, we're gonna add a little bit of a leg lift with that top leg. Okay, left elbow down on the ground, legs straight. We bend that bottom knee, hips are going to lift. Option to hold here, or if you want, you can drop that bottom knee, or sorry, bottom leg, top leg, geez, down and lift back up. It's just a light tap. I'm not resting the leg. It's just adding a little bit more to the movement. Good, and 3, 2, 1, other side. Good, starting with those legs straight, bending that bottom knee, hips lift, and we're up from there. Option is hold, or you can add that leg lift. Make sure if you're adding that leg lift, if I was looking at you from hip crease up to your shoulders, it wouldn't look like this leg is moving. So I don't want to see sort of a little side bendy thing. Just staying nice and square and stable through the hips and pelvis. Good, and 3, 2, 1, rest. Whew. All right, we're gonna be moving on to our more sort of strength and power focused section of our workout. We're gonna be working with a short stance step back lunge. Couple options there to sort of add a little bit of intensity, and we're also gonna be adding a little bit of power work into it. We'll only do 2 sets of this. We'll be working for 30 seconds for our step back lunge. For our jumping portion of it, I'm gonna let you do 4 to 6 reps. So that's gonna be a number you just have to remember. Okay, we're gonna get started on that right leg. Our short stance step back lunge. Right leg is gonna be forward. We're gonna step back with that left leg, thinking about dropping that back knee down more towards front heel, and then back together. So stepping that back knee down, we're thinking ankle dorsiflexion to bring us up. Now, if you want to add a little bit more intensity to this one, you could add holding on to 2 weights. You can add a little bit of tempo, so lowering it down, think 3, 2, 1, brief pause, really driving to stand up tall. So adding that little slower, lower will make things harder. Good, we want to work that short stance, hopefully get more into that working quad. Good, 3, 2, 1, quick rest. We're now gonna go into your 4 to 6 reps of that sort of step back lunge, driving up from there. Okay, whenever you're ready in 3, 2, 1, on that same side, you go right into it. 4 to 6 reps. Whew. It should get pretty spicy on that leg. Yeah? All right, we're gonna rest for about 20 seconds there. We'll go into the other side. So we'll go left leg, that short stance, step back lunge, and then right into your jumps. We're just gonna do 2 sets of that. So 1 more after this, easy peasy. All right, ready? In 3, 2, 1, stepping back with that right leg. Again, if you wanted to add more load, hold on to weights by your side, or if you had 1 heavy weight, you could also hold on to it goblet style. Or adding that tempo, 3, 2, 1, brief pause at the bottom, and up. The closer that front knee is to the front, or sorry, back knee, harder this is gonna be, so it's gonna be even more ankle knee flexion. Good, we're gonna go right into 4 to 6 of those jump lunges in 3, 2, 1, whenever you're ready. Whew. Okay, that was hard. All right, shake it off. I'm saying 4 to 6. I want you to choose a number that challenges you, but you can still maintain quality form. I know this can be quite tough. All right, we're gonna take about 20 more seconds here. We're gonna do 1 more round. How's that feeling? Hopefully you're feeling your quads a little, maybe a little bit into your glutes. Okay, let's go back, right side in 3, 2, 1, go for it. So really paying attention to how short you take that stance. Maybe you can slow it down a little bit more. Really think about driving through that right quad as you come up to standing tall. All right, right into those jump lunges in 3, 2, 1, 4 to 6. Okay, take a breather. We rest there. We do 1 more on our left side. Then we've got 1 thing to finish with. Then you're all done. How's that feeling? I'm getting sweaty. Okay, grab some water if you want. We're moving on to left leg with that short stance. Step back lunge. In 3, 2, 1, go for it. Good, trying to stay fairly tall with the chest so we're not fully collapsing down as we step back. However, a little bit of positive body angle is fine for me. You will get a little bit more into the glute if we sit a little bit more forward. All right, right into those jump lunges on that left side in 3, 2, 1, go for it. Whew. All right, everyone. Last little sequence here. How you feeling? Hopefully you get a little sweaty. Feeling the legs. Okay, we're gonna come to lie on the ground. This is where you're gonna have the option to either work body weight. If you wanna add a little bit of load to it, you totally can if you have the option. However, I think this is plenty tough enough without any weight. We're gonna come to lie on the ground. Heels are gonna be down on the ground. The further away your heels are from your body, the harder this is going to be. We're gonna bring our elbows down to the ground. We're gonna lift our hips up towards the ceiling. Now from here, I want you to think about pointing your toes slightly down. That's gonna get your hamstrings a little bit more. And think about really pushing hip crease up towards the ceiling. We're holding here for 40 seconds. Now, options to make this harder. Walk your feet further away from you, or bring a weight onto your hip. Good, again, that slight point of the toes down, hip crease up towards the ceiling. Good, I want you to imagine like you had foam roller or yoga block between your knees that you're trying to squeeze. Good, slight point of the toes down. You get into the hamstrings a little bit more. Good, keep pushing, heels into the ground, elbows into the ground. Good, hold. We're doing one more set of this. In 3, 2, 1, drop the hips down. Bring the heels in. All right, we're gonna rest for about 15 more seconds. We're gonna do one more set of that. Option here, second round. We are holding for 40 seconds. If you want, you can do a 20-second hold on one side, 20-second hold on another side. Or just stick with whatever you did that last round. Maybe see if you can bring those heels a little bit further away from your body. Ready? In 3, 2, 1, go for it. Last set. Good, I want it to bring you to a place where you're feeling some shakes, feeling those hamstrings. If you're not wobbling, shaking a little bit, you can definitely make this harder for yourself. Good, halfway, switching sides if you're doing single-legged. Final 10. 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop those hips down towards the ground. All right, quick little cool down, everyone. You're all done. Okay, bring yourself up from there. You're gonna come into a seated position. Bring your hands back behind you. Bring your heels about as wide as your mat. And you're gonna drop your knees over to the right. And then up and over to the left. So this quick windshield wiper side to side. Good, back over to the right. And then over to the left. You can stay on this left side, and we're gonna drop over top of that left shin. I'll give you a couple options here. You can play around with where you're feeling this the most in that left glute. You'll also probably feel this on that right side too. It's okay. But maybe you're more in front of the left, cut the quad, knee, shin, or foot. Good, and as you drop over top of that shin, can you pay attention to the position of your pelvis? So we're not letting it sort of tuck underneath us as we kind of round forward. Can we think about hip bones forward? And then we drop over top of the shin. Good, one more big breath here. Slow exhale out. Let's do the same thing on the other side. So just windshield wiper the knees to the right. And then again, thinking as we drop over top of that right leg, whether you're more to the side, front, or foot, we're thinking hip bones down towards the ground, and then we drop. So when we're quite tight through everything kind of posteriorly, we'll kind of want to like tuck and be like, oh, this is such a good stretch, but we're not actually kind of getting into that glute. You'll actually feel it more if you can think about that. Good, so just a quick little workout for you, a little bit of plyometric work, ankles, calves, Achilles, feet. Just getting into the quads, hamstrings, and the glutes a little bit. All right, one more big breath there. Inhale, slow exhale out. And you're all done, everybody. Thank you so much for choosing to get moving with me today. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback about the workout, feel free to send me a little message, drop a little comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, have a great day. Bye.